My name is Daniel Carter. I grew up in the quiet coastal town of Whitby, where the wind always smelled like salt and secrets lingered longer than shadows. My childhood was mostly unremarkable: school, football in the alley, and the occasional fish and chips with Mum on Sundays. Dad had passed when I was 5, and my mother, Helen Carter, worked at the local post office for over 2 decades. She never spoke much about Dad. She said he died in a car crash on his way home from work. I believed her. I had no reason not to. I was a curious boy, always poking around in drawers, asking too many questions. But Mum would change the subject whenever I asked about the past. "Not now, love," she'd say, her eyes going distant, like they were looking into a world I wasn't allowed to see. It wasn't until I turned 24 that everything changed. She passed away suddenly, an unexpected stroke. I was shattered. We had been close, despite her quiet nature. Her funeral was small, just a handful of neighbors, my Aunt Carol, and me. After the burial, I returned to our tiny cottage by the cliffs. The silence was different now, thicker, emptier. While cleaning out Mum's bedroom, I stumbled upon a small wooden box buried beneath old quilts. It was locked, but the key hung from a chain on the wall, an odd place to keep it, I thought. Inside the box were a few faded photographs, a worn diary, and a sealed letter marked, "For Daniel. If I'm gone, you may read this." I sat on the bed, hands trembling as I opened the letter. What I read next unstitched the fabric of my entire life. "My dearest Daniel, there's something I must confess. I lied to you about your father. He didn't die in a car crash. In truth, he is very much alive. I had to protect you from him." The words hit me like a blow. I read the letter over and over, the ink smudged from my tears. My mother explained that my father, Thomas Hale, was a powerful man in London, a banker, charming, rich, but dangerous. She'd met him as a nanny for a family he was close to. Their affair was brief, intense, and dark. When she discovered she was pregnant, he wanted her to get rid of me. She refused. One night, he came home drunk and threatened her. She ran, changed her surname, started over. She'd never told anyone, not even her sister. I didn't know what to do with the information. The letter had no address, no clues on where to find him. Just a warning: be careful, Daniel. If you ever go looking for him, know what kind of man he is. For weeks, I couldn't sleep. My mind was caught between grief and disbelief. Who was I really? Who was this man I shared blood with? Eventually, curiosity took over fear. I began to dig: online searches, public records, financial reports. After months of research, I found him. Thomas Hale, CEO of Hale Investments, residing in a gated mansion in Kensington. I flew to London and stood outside his estate. The gate was massive, guarded by security cameras. I didn't know what I was expecting, maybe a movie-like reunion, or maybe for him to recognize me somehow. I didn't go in. Instead, I sent him a letter. No threats. No demands. Just the truth. I am your son. A week later, I received a letter in return. It was typed, short, and cold. "I've known. I paid your mother for her silence. Do not contact me again." I was numb. 4 days, I walked around London like a ghost. I sat in Hyde Park watching children play, wondering what kind of man I would have become had my father raised me. Would I be cruel like him? Heartless? Would I be rich but empty? Then I remembered my mother. Her quiet strength. Her sacrifices. She raised me with love, even when she had so little. She gave me values, humility, and humanity. She didn't let hate define her. And she didn't let him control our lives. I returned to Whitby. I burned his letter. A year later, I opened a youth center in my mum's name, Helen's Haven. A place for children from broken homes, where they could read, play, dream, and grow. I used every penny I'd saved from my job as a mechanic. Some friends helped with fundraising. The community pitched in. It became a sanctuary, not just for them, but for me. People often ask me why I never tried to claim my rights or seek revenge. But I already won. I wasn't like him. I chose compassion over cruelty, truth over bitterness, love over legacy. My story didn't end the way people might expect. But it ended the way it was meant to, with purpose. If this story touched your heart, PLZ, like and subscribe.